This is a survival pack by me, Melissa Creek. Why is having a survival pack so important, you ask? Because unfortunately, things don't always go to plan. And even when poop hits the fan, we, as the people of the outdoors, should be prepared to save ourselves from tragedy. This is also important because we are Idahoans, and we love our outdoor activities, and we want to continue our adventures from views that take our breath away. Here's a list of things I carry with me on my adventures, and things that have been proven to be pretty useful in the past. Things like an emergency blanket, a fire starter, a headlamp or flashlight, a knife, a lighter, rope, waterproof tarp, a first aid kit. Emergency blankets are important for when you're doing long hikes or backpacking. They come in handy if you get into a tight spot and don't have any blankets, or possibly your sleeping bag has gotten wet. Waterproof tarps are good for keeping you and your things dry in case it rains. It can also double as a shelter if you're feeling creative. You're going to want a lighter on hand for when it gets to nighttime and you want to start a fire to stay warm. And you're going to want to have a fire starter on hand as well, just in case your lighter runs out of fluid or you lose it on a hike. So having both of these is essential to having outdoor fun. Having a headlamp or flashlight is important for when it gets dark and you need to find items in your pack or start a fire or set up camp. And knives are very versatile, especially utility knives, and having a decent knife can make a big difference. Rope is another item that is extremely versatile. It can be used for anything from rappelling down rocks to using it for the structure on your tent. And lastly, the first aid kit. First aid kit is probably the most important thing you can carry in your pack because when things don't always go as planned, you want to be able to save yourself from any more harm or danger, and a first aid kit is pretty much the way to go with that. The type of first aid kit you get really depends on what type of activity you're doing and for how long. If you're doing a short trip, having a smaller first aid kit might be ideal because it won't be as heavy and easier to maneuver in your backpack. Longer trips, you might want to spray for probably a bigger first aid kit because you're going to be getting tired and you never know what kind of obstacles you're going to run into on like a 5 or 6 day hiking trip or backpacking or biking. And so really measuring the type of activity and length of the activity is really important when choosing your first aid kit. I can't begin to explain how important it is to make sure you have a decent survival kit. Sometimes you get stuck in sticky situations and the only way out is what you have on your back. And we all love doing crazy stuff and we want to keep doing the things that we love to do. From views that take our breath away.